passes by Deschaux.
Yeah, we'll see what we see out of Deschaux tonight. So far for the Lions, the starting center back pairing is Gerardo Lopez and Corbin Mercado. Ahead of them in the midfield, Gaetan Rowe once again getting the start. That'll kick things off here for Sullivan Field, as the Lions come out in their white jerseys with the red shorts and white socks, and for Seattle U, it'll be the all-black uniforms.
Seattle U and LMU both with red colors in their logos, but both of them do not wear red today.
And obviously, Stephen, we're currently sitting at 48 teams in the tournament. Both of these teams competing for a chance to go up north and play Stanford as that one comes in behind. And Stanford is no easy task, but right now both these teams obviously focus on getting the win and moving on to that next round.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, you just want to think about it as one game at a time, and you can't really be looking ahead that much, but definitely Stanford is a very strong team. I think they're sitting at number 7 right now in the seeding for the tournament, and they can be a contender going forward.
And now Seattle trying to get things going forward. Lions do a good job defending. They're now fighting for it is LMU. They're at San Ramon in the scuffle, but Seattle comes away with it. They'll hit that towards the back post, snuffed out by the Lions. Physical play in there, no foul called. Lions continue to charge forward. Big diagonal ball played towards Rowe. It gets by him, but it'll fall for San Ramon. San Ramon now forward for LMU, down the left-hand side. Nice move there, goes down in the box. Fans appealing for a penalty, and it appears that there will be no foul called. There was a great bit of skill there from Rodrigo San Ramon, and he was brought down in the box. The official feels like the ball potentially might not have been in his range. And that'll get the crowd involved early, Steven. Big controversial call.
Yeah, even though it is a neutral game, officially the site is at Loyola Marymount, so there probably are going to be some more Lion fans in the crowd, and you will hear that.
And the Lion fans really coming to life here, especially you mentioned being in Los Angeles. Another great bit of skill there. San Ramon has been very involved. Now Rowe works down the left-hand side for LMU. Rowe looking to cross. Trying to go by the defender, but it's played well by Seattle. San Ramon once again on the ball. San Ramon looking for options, flicks it in towards the box. That'll be caught easily by the goalkeeper.
Now look for the referees to set a tone initially. It looks like these referees are more lenient toward letting players play and don't want to be carding everybody left and right. Sometimes referees are more stringent. Early enforcement will let you know their style.
Another long ball here for LMU as they're really looking to take advantage of their pace out wide. That'll force a clearance by Seattle. Ball will stay with LMU. Throw in for the Lions here just on the edge of their attacking third, right down the right-hand side. This one will bounce around the edge of the box. Once again, the Lions will take possession. Working around the left now. San Ramon. San Ramon just plays it back to Wood. Now back to Mercado. Mercado will reverse it to the other center back here, Lopez. Lopez, bit of pressure there, will force a pass that had a bit too much on it. But Lopez is able to draw a foul. There will be a free kick back to LMU.
Something to look for this game is how much both teams apply the press. Lions have, so far this season, been pretty reliant on it.
And now Wood cuts inside for LMU. He'll lay that off. Seattle, not really pressing the back four of the Lions as of now, but anytime it advances into the midfield, they really swarm to the ball.
Yeah, right when they get to that midsection, Seattle U definitely applying the pressure.
This one is thrown back to Mercado. Mercado currently sitting in the role that we normally see Nick Deschaux. Mercado filling in nicely, however. Lions really rely on their center backs when it comes to distribution and building the ball up. Another long ball there from Mercado right onto the chest of San Ramon. Another good press from Seattle will cleanly win them the ball back. Now going the other way are the Redhawks.
Very early, but the Lions with a little bit more time of possession here. Redhawks look like they're struggling to get the ball in their hands.
Another long ball looking for Sauls there. But once again, no trouble for the goalkeeper, Kasim for Seattle U. Now working around the back are the Redhawks. They'll move around to the right-hand side. Sam Tessler sends it back to the goalkeeper. The Lions starting to pick up the press a little bit here as Saul starts to get involved. Very comfortable on the ball early, our Seattle U.
Yeah, the Redhawks definitely taking their time with it, trying to find any sort of opening here.
Now it's Ortiz trying to play it in behind for Seattle U. Aerial battle there. It'll stay in bounds. Good hustle by San Ramon, but the ball will end up with the Redhawks. This one is crossed towards the back post. There is a man there, heads it down towards the face of goal, but no trouble there. Jacob Jackson not really troubled at all by that one as he easily catches it off the bounce. Good chance, though, created there by Seattle.
Yeah, simple save there from Jackson, but Seattle with the best opportunity so far this game.
Once again, Mercado for LMU.
Lions setting up, no press.
Long ball towards Sauls. So it'll take a deflection off of Wood out of bounds back to Seattle U.
Yeah, Wood just missed it there.
And Steven, in the pregame we talked about the importance of Declan McGlynn for Seattle U. He's currently sitting in a center forward role here right between Lopez and Mercado for LMU. We'll see how many chances they can create for him.
Yeah, the best strikers are the ones who can finish the most consistently, so let's see if there can be any opportunities created by the Redhawks for their star player.
Right now the Redhawks moving the ball around by way of Tesler, hitting a long one down the right-hand side, right off the chest of another Redhawks player. Played well there. The ball will ultimately end up going back to LMU as both teams showing pressure early. Wood now for the Lions, surveying his options. He'll just check it short. Good press there by Ortiz. Might have created something for Seattle as Lopez tries to clear it away, but Seattle U will keep the ball. Shot fired from deep, just over the bar.
Yeah, mistake there from the Lions. They have to make sure that they're not rattled by this first playoff appearance in 6 years.
And we talked about Seattle U being a program that's been here before far more frequently than the Lions, but nice little bit of skill there once again from San Ramon, who's really been the most involved Lion offensively. But both teams have had good press from their forwards. It's a nice little layoff there, good idea from McGlynn, but it ultimately fall. That was a close one there. Big pressure on the line goalkeeper Jackson as he's able to get the ball away.
Yeah, these last couple of minutes, the Redhawks have absolutely been turning up the pressure.
Foul called there against LMU. It'll be a free kick to Seattle U. Free kick here now. Just about 8 minutes into this one. We've seen a couple shots taken by the Redhawks. Lions yet to get a chance on goal. Now the Redhawks working down the left-hand side. Into the box they go. This one is floated towards the penalty area. Still in a dangerous area.
Looked like it was deflected there by the Lion defender.
It appears they might be signaling for a handball against Seattle U. That'll be a free kick for LMU.
Got the Lion drum line in play today. Always adds a lot to the scenery in this environment.
Now working forward is Lopez. Back to Lopez it goes as he clears it away. Looking for Cervantes there. Good effort, gets it to Rowe, who tries to tack it back on to Cervantes. Things will go back to Seattle. More press from San Ramon for LMU. Ultimately, they'll settle with the goalkeeper. And Stephen, we talked about the idea of this being a neutral site. LMU is the host team here, however, and this is a Lion team that when they've been on Sullivan Field has been significantly better than when they've been on the road. We'll give you the numbers for that in just a moment. Seattle's pushing forward. Yeah, and to that point, as the Lions take it away and start to move the other way, the Lions are 7-2-1 when they play at Sullivan Field. Now going forward, here's Rowe. Charging forward for LMU, numbers forward for the Lions. San Ramon now flicks it towards the back post, headed away nicely by Seattle U. Ortiz trying to fight for the ball, and he will be able to clear it away.
Yeah, great clear by Ortiz there.
Looks like it's an offsides call there. And Steven, going back to what we were saying, when the Lions have been on Sullivan Field, a notably different team, 7-2-1 at home, but 4-3-2 away. Even though this is technically a neutral site game, how much do you think playing at Sullivan Field means for LMU?
Well, if you're here in the stands right now, you'll definitely feel, or you'll definitely understand that it doesn't feel like a neutral site. I give the home field advantage to the Lions, and like any team, they definitely play better on their home turf.
Yeah, and Seattle's a team, however, that has been very successful on the road. This is a team we talked about before, 14-game unbeaten streak, so no worries going away from home for the Redhawks. Ortiz once again flicking it on. Caliscan fighting there for LMU. Big sliding tackle coming in there. Once again, Lopez will work things around the back. Trying to advance it down the right-hand side. The Lions will play one through here. Working right around the right edge of the box. Heavy touch there will send it out of bounds, however, and the ball will go back to the Redhawks.
Yeah, it's a cool night today, and there's definitely a little bit of condensation on the field, so something the players have to watch out for.
The weather definitely been cooling down. We'll see how the field conditions do impact the play, Steven. Things start to get a little bit slicker out there. We'll see if everyone keeps their footing well. Tessler once again.
Yeah,
Right back to the goalkeeper.
The more difficult the field conditions are, obviously, the more it opens both teams up to potential mistakes. Could add another variable to this game.
And looking there for McGlynn are the Redhawks, but that one just drifted a little bit too much to the left. We'll see how they're able to activate Declan McGlynn early on in this game. He's been playing a very high line. I'd assume if the Lions continue to press well, he'd likely drop back more and try and get on the ball a bit more, as he is one of their best creators, not just finishers. Now this one moves right around the right-hand side. Lions fighting for it. Looks like they have control, but it is bouncing around.
Good fight there, but again, you can see those field conditions coming into play.
Yeah, players sliding around early on. We're just 12 minutes into this one, but we'll see how everything plays out going forward. Still a lot of soccer left to play. This one is checked back. Another big press. It'll cause a clearance from LMU. Once again, San Ramon is the active Lion. A nice touch there, but just not quite good enough to keep it inbounds. For Seattle U, James Morris has been very active when it comes to the press as a forward, Steven.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like this press has definitely rattled LMU a little bit. It's created all of Seattle's opportunities, and the Lions are used to being the ones who press and used to being the ones who create opposing mistakes from that press. So let's see how it looks with the shoe on the other foot.
Some big ball to the opposite side of the field by Ortiz. We'll get Seattle U the ball in the box here. Now played across the penalty area, cleared away by the Lions, but the ball still hovers around the edge of the box.
Yeah, it looked like McGlynn was running right there in position for a nice and easy shot.
It was a really good ball by Ortiz there to unlock things. Going the other way for the Redhawks. Nice bit of one-touch passing here for Seattle U. But the Lions are able to sniff it out and clear it away. The Lions just trying to get the ball out of their own end now. Seattle continues to be strong on it. As another player will be brought down, that'll bring some groans out of the fans here, as you talked about, Stephen. Primarily an LMU crowd here, with us playing in Los Angeles, even on the campus of Loyola Marymount University. But Seattle fans have traveled well. The stands are packed for tonight's contest.
Yeah, standing room only if you couldn't get a seat earlier today.
So now it'll be a free kick for Seattle. Right on the edge of the attacking third, offset to the left from the box. Looks like it will be McGlynn to take this one. He'll float it and drive it just into the hands of Jacob Jackson. And that's a difficult one for a goalkeeper. Ball coming through a crowd. Could easily take a weird deflection, but Jackson reliable as always for LMU.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't lose the ball in that situation. You have to maintain your composure and position yourself right in the perfect spot. Jackson, like we've seen so much this season, got the job done.
Yeah, and on the flip side from Seattle, interesting choice there to put McGlynn on the free kick, and he did hit a good ball into a dangerous area. It was just one awkward deflection away from finding the back of the net. Now Mercado looking for Sauls going forward, a bit too much on it, just not on the same page there, easily taken by Kasim. The Lions will continue to press, however. Rowe now charging at the goalkeeper.
Both teams looking pretty evenly matched through this 15th minute throughout this game.
Yeah, we've seen such small changes in momentum. No real team looking better than the other as far as now, but we've seen little 2-minute stretches in which Seattle seems to hold on to the ball, and on vice versa rather, when it comes to LMU, they feel very comfortable on the ball. So both teams pressing, and on the flip side of that, both teams adjusting well to the press offensively. Tesler now will lay it off. Ortiz now has really been the key for Seattle U, linking things up, but good defending by Wood will get it back to Caliscan, right back to Wood. Now in a row, heavy touch there, but he is able to run onto the end of it. Going down the left-hand side is Rowe for LMU.
Rowe with some methodical footwork trying to create some space here. Good patience from the defenders of the Redhawks.
Another good sliding tackle there from Seattle U. They've been a little more willing to slide than other teams LMU's faces here, but they've done a very good job being disciplined and getting the ball first. That one's cleared away, but the Lions will take it on a deflection. Lion player is down in the box, floated towards the area, headed down into a dangerous spot here. LMU fighting for it. And it looks like the referee will blow his whistle here. Stoppage of play. Looks like the ball will go back to Seattle U, and he will check on the Lion player who is down.
Looks like Leo Zuli for the Lions.
Appears to be Zuli down. A lot of Lion players on the bench up and ready to go in upon the instruction of Paul Crumpy. Zuli moving with a definite limp now. I'd assume that we'd see a substitution for the Lions very soon. He's clearly having trouble moving around out there.
A lot of similarities between these two schools. Seattle U, a Jesuit private university of about 8,000. Loyola Marymount is a Jesuit private Catholic university of about 9,000 students, both located on the West Coast.
Now moving things forward are the Redhawks, trying to advance it quickly. Bit of space here now. Caliscan closing out for LMU. Seattle is able to keep possession, however, it'll be McGlynn working down the left-hand side. Declan McGlynn now for the Redhawks. Towards the left-hand side of the box, he'll regroup and lay it back. Ball into a dangerous area, sniffed out well by Mercado. Now the Lions have a chance to get things going the other way, short on numbers, and wisely pulled back by Gaetan Rowe there. Now he springs Jack Solis, who's in a bit of space here. Looks like he is onside for LMU. One-on-one with Tesler, plays another good ball right back to San Ramon. San Ramon unable to get there, but it will force a clearance out of bounds back to the Lions. And now the Lions will get a throw in a very dangerous area. And almost there for the Lions, just wide. The official is signaling down. That's the best chance of the game there for the Lions.
Yeah, it happened out of nowhere, just like a little bolt of lightning. The Lions had a great opportunity there. Heads up defense by Seattle U.
There was a stoppage in play there, and the Lions jumped on it and were very opportunistic with that and almost put themselves ahead 1-0 in the 18th minute.
That's the beauty of this sport, is an opportunity or a big moment can come out of absolutely nowhere.
And Seattle escapes there. Still tied 0-0. More good pressure from Seattle U. Referee appears to be unhappy with the physicality. Foul called there. Lions will get a free kick in their own end. Wood calling for the switch. Looks like he'll get it, but it'll stop by Mercado halfway there, and it'll ultimately get to Wood. Wood now charging forward against Ortiz, passes him, now going forward for LMU. Wood lays it off, plays a nice 1-2 there, but a bit too much on the second end of that pass. Into the hands of Kasim there, but a big charge there from Wood out of the back four for LMU.
Yeah, absolutely. Lions playing very aggressively on offense, pushing vertically with speed and urgency.
More pressure now for the Lions here as Cervantes forces an errant pass.
Yeah, another slip there from the field conditions.
Nice little 1-2 there. Gaetan Rowe will keep possession for the Lions. Cervantes fighting for it. It'll ultimately end up with Caliscan. Lions trying to navigate their way around this press, as it's really been the combination of Ortiz, Morris, and McGlynn giving the Lions back for a lot of trouble early on.
San Roman also, for a lot of today, has been covering a lot of ground and has been a good vertical threat for the Lions, something to look out for more throughout this game.
Long one played down the left-hand side. Offsides, however, against the Redhawks. That'll send the ball back to LMU. We'll pass the 20-minute mark now.
Still hard to say who has the advantage this game. Maybe a slight edge to LMU because they had the better opportunity, but Seattle not very far also. Looks like a good evenly matched game.
And both teams have come out with similar play styles, especially defensively. Going for the press early on, both teams have responded well to it. Now Cervantes charging forward for LMU. Cuts back inside, trying to create something. Laid off for Rowe, fires a shot just wide. And a good opportunity there once again is a big run from Norisco Cervantes. Opened up a shot for Gaetan Rowe, but it went just on the other side of the post.
Good decisiveness from the Lions so far today, creating opportunities out of what seemingly don't look like opportunities. Just good heads-up play.
Got a couple substitutions for the Lions here now. Danny Garcia and Brandon Sanchez enter the game for Leo Zuli and Gaetan Rowe.
Something to note about both teams' offenses. It looks like Seattle is trying to take more advantage of mistakes created by their press on defense, to where the Lions are trying to push past the press vertically.
Now it's San Ramon here, and a key for the Lions so far has been those big runs from midfield and defensive players. Nice cut inside there for Sanchez. He'll float that towards the other end, sniffed out well by Seattle. Towards Morris. A lot of contact there. Foul was called. Didn't quite hear the whistle from up here, but.
Yeah, pretty clear foul there.
And Morris, his activity so far has been really key for Seattle when it comes to winning the ball back or just holding on to the ball in a dangerous area. There you go with him really battling Corbin Mercado in the air. Mercado, one of the better aerial threats for LMU, but Morris is right there to match him.
Yeah, Mercado standing at 6'3" tall. Definitely something the Lions look to in those situations.
Caliscan advances the ball for LMU now. Trying to work on it is Cervantes, but a heavy touch gives it right back to the Redhawks. Seattle U now. Controlling the ball. Towards the back four it goes.
Seattle U taking their time more on offense, trying to let things happen instead of forcing the action.
Once again, Tesler into Ortiz. Flips it to Acton Petronis. That's a nice long ball played in towards McGlynn. Now chance here for Seattle. Great layoff just through the legs of a Seattle U forward. That could have been a great chance there. Now the Lions are trying to create something of their own going the other way. Still in space here are the Lions down the left-hand side. San Ramon with Akers to run. Coming at Tesler now as he closes out, lays it back into the edge of the box. But Seattle is right there to take it away. It was Julian Avila good.
Yeah, ill-advised cross there from San Ramon.
Now, when San Ramon first got that ball, it looks like he had miles to run, but a great job closing out by Tesler. And Avila good also with a great job closing out passing lanes. As San Ramon just tried to lay it off for a shot at the edge of the box. There was nothing going there.
Something to look for later in this game. The Lions are being a lot more aggressive on offense. See if they tire out at all. It looks like Seattle U is doing a better job of conserving their energy.
Yeah, we've seen more long runs for Lion players in Seattle. Seattle methodically moving the ball up the field, but LMU has been relying on long runs from defenders so far. We'll see if that can keep up. Looking there for McGlynn in behind, well defended by the Lions. This one now looking for Morris, over his head, however, out of bounds, throwing back to LMU. Wood will take it. This one will go back to the goalkeeper, Jackson. Another long ball for the Lions. This one will be taken away by Seattle U.
Coming up on about halfway through, or just past the halfway point of this first half.
Nice step up there from Mercado, opens things up for Wood down the left-hand side. Wood plays it into Sanchez. Looking for options now. Sanchez cutting back inside, fires a shot low, saved there nicely by the goalkeeper, Akili Kasim.
Yeah, heads up save there by Kasim.
This one is played long towards Morris. He is offsides. Looked like he knew it the whole way, really checking the line judge as he made that run.
Yeah, Morris from Doncaster, England. See a lot of international players on both these teams.
Just getting laid off from Mercado. Looks like the Lions have a substitute ready to come in at the next stoppage of play.
Yeah, as the Lions have that more aggressive, tiresome strategy, you'll expect more subs coming off the bench for them.
Yeah, so far for Seattle, the same 11 we saw at the start. More pressure from Declan McGlynn. Lions very content holding on to the ball.
Another long pass by Mercado.
This one is long, looking for Sauls once again. Sauls trying to track it down, unable to do so. Will result in the goal kick for the Redhawks. Now we'll get that substitution for LMU in the 25th minute, actually approaching the 26th now. For the Lions, looks like San Ramon will be exiting the game.
Now entering the game, junior forward number 7, Duhaney Williams.
And in exchange for San Ramon, it will be Duhaney Williams. Cervantes flipped over to the left-hand side now for LMU. Lopez will step up and clear it away. Back and forth right now for both teams, as Richie ends up controlling it for the Redhawks. Noe Meza there. The good bit of skill on Williams to keep the ball.
Williams, just like San Ramon, another edge threat for the Lions to create some good vertical opportunities.
Now, Williams is a guy that if the Lions can play him into space, can do a lot of damage, especially in one-on-one situations with opposing fullbacks. Now Declan McGlynn charging forward. He has numbers here for the Redhawks. Lays it off. Player slips and falls. Another great bit of skill there by Wood. Opens things up for Sanchez. Back and forth now here.
Sanchez had Cervantes run down the field. He couldn't see him, had his back turned there.
Great tackle there from Caliscan, gets the ball back. Nice little layoff from Sanchez to Williams. Williams
Williams
charging down the right-hand side now. Just unable to get there.
That's just a show of Williams' speed, though. We've seen that a lot this season. Really just put the ball in front of him, let him go after it. He can really create a lot.
He's someone that can cause a lot of trouble for opposing back lines. Both teams' benches fully standing now. Shot is deflected away. Mercado lays it off for Wood.
Just another quick strike. Lions trying to catch Seattle U sleeping. Haven't been successful yet.
And the 1-2 from Caliscan just too far ahead of Cervantes. Seen Cervantes now move over to the left-hand side to give Williams what I believe is his preferred right-hand side attacking now for LMU. Once again, Richie controls things for the Redhawks. Looking forward now. Seattle U with Morris running ahead. Tries to check it back inside to Meza, but the Lions intercept it. Now we'll move the other way. This one is laid off for Caliscan. Garcia will send it out to Wood.
Pass a little behind Wood, stops the forward progress of the Lion offense. Looks like Seattle U laid off the press a little bit.
Sliding in there is Cervantes. Pressure still keeps the ball in a dangerous area. Ultimately, it bounces away. McCoskey now will lay it back for Tesler. A lot of energy in the stands now, as the spirit section for the Lions has fully come to life. Tesler now under a bit of pressure. He'll send it long towards McGlynn.
Big header there.
Yeah, Wood stepping up there. And if you're the Lions, you really don't want to give Declan McGlynn a lot of chances in the open field. As he started to get on the ball a bit more now. He's shifted over to the right-hand side.
Yeah, Seattle U, definitely a team who is always better served getting the ball into McGlynn's possession as much as possible. Big part of the reason they are on this 14-game winning streak currently.
Sanchez will try and knock that one down. Ultimately, Seattle U will keep it. Shot fired from a long ways away, just past the outstretched arm of Jacob Jackson, but also past the frame of the goal as well, so no trouble there for LMU. Substitution set to come in now. Looks like it'll actually be 2 for the Lions. Got Francis Avocha entering the game for Jack Sauls.
Substitutions for the Lions. Junior forward, number 9, Francis Avoca.
As well as it looks like Mauricio Cervantes will exit the game for, I believe, CJ Neville.
Number 11, CJ Neville, replacing Narciso Cervantes.
So some fresh legs up top now for the Lions as the front four is now made up of Sanchez, Neville, Voce, and Williams, all players that were substituted on.
Now, I don't believe Seattle U has had any substitutions quite yet. Interesting thing to keep track of here.
And we'll see with the fresh legs up top of the Lions if they go back to that press. Seattle U has done a good job of being strong on the ball under pressure.
Lions definitely a deeper team who was, doesn't experience much of a drop-off when they do put in their substitutes. Something that's helped them a lot this season.
That one's taken away by Ortiz. Looking around, he'll drop it into Avila Good. Looking for the long diagonal, he'll opt to just lay it off.
And more patience here from Seattle U, just looking for their opportunity.
Still not much pressure from the line forwards, despite having the fresh legs. This one actually does find McGlynn, who once again has found a pocket of space, lays it off for Morris down the left-hand side. Morris trying to control it, battling there with Mercado. He is able to do so. Avila Good now checks it back into McGlynn. McGlynn lays it off, taken away there by the Lions, but it will fall for Seattle U once again. Back and forth here. Ends up with Mercado. Now the Lions are going the other way by way of Garcia. Just not enough on there from Garcia as Haney Williams was making a run. Lion player slips and falls there. And Seattle will keep the ball going forward with Ritchie.
I believe that is the 5th or 6th slip so far today. Definitely a big factor because a lot of opportunities can be created off of one player just slipping. And all of a sudden, you got a open look at the goal.
Now moving forward is McGlynn, trying to lay it off once again. Seattle U still with the ball in a dangerous area. This one shot fired just wide as it fizzes across the face of goal. And across the face of the goal line as well, as that one won't even go out for a goal kick. It'll be a deep throw in for LMU.
A good shot there by Seattle U. It looked like Jacob Jackson lost sight of where the ball was. Luckily for the Lions, the ball sailed wide of the crossbars.
And this will give the Redhawks a chance to continue to press, which they will opt to do so. Morris now pressing alongside Ortiz, giving a bit of trouble here to Wood. A clearance now will end up going off Ortiz, and the Lions will get their goal kick. So for Seattle, still no substitutions. A lot of players up and about, but no one at the scorer's table as of now. For the Lions, plenty of substitutions, and all the players, as you mentioned, Stephen, in the cold conditions, just moving around, trying to stay loose in case they're called upon. Credit to Seattle U, despite having no substitutions. All players have been very active. No signs of fatigue for the Redhawks as of yet. Played 34 minutes now here, the first round of the NCAA tournament. Mercado surveying the field for the Lions. Now McGlynn will press on Lopez. Just cut off that pass from center back to center back, making it a lot tougher on Lopez as he will have to clear that one out. That'll win Seattle U the ball back.
Been a fairly even game so far, I'd say. Give the Lions a slight advantage just because of the opportunities they've been able to create on offense. But Seattle U getting close very often. Both teams look like they're not far away from getting that first goal.
Both teams have been very solid in all facets of the game. Now Ortiz checking back to get on the ball. We've seen him do that a lot, really serving as an outlet so far for Sam Tesler.
Yeah, definitely a more methodical approach from Seattle U's offense compared to the Lions. Just looking for good ways to get it into their best player's possession.
And big pressure there from CJ Neville. Ends up checking Sam Tesler. There will be a foul called against the Lions. Doesn't look like a card's coming out. Just a bit of a talking to from the official tonight. For Seattle U, we've seen Julian Avila Good, the man with the armband for them. Been a very key communicator. He's been all over the field talking to the forwards, talking to the back four, just making sure everyone's on the same page. He's on the ball now. This one is now floated towards Meza. He'll head it back into the middle to Ritchie. Lays it off for McGlynn. Declan McGlynn really with the free license to roam around for Seattle. He's done a great job of finding pockets of space in the LMU defense in midfield. Dehaney Williams pressing here for LMU. Still moving down the left-hand side go the Redhawks. Takes a deflection. It will go out of bounds. The signal is for a goal kick. Now we'll have a substitution for the Redhawks. In the 36th minute, looks like it'll be Morris exiting the game.
Substitution for Seattle U.
I believe that is their first substitution of the game.
Connor Noblat, replacing James Morris.
It'll be Connor Noblat replacing James Morris. And he'll fill in right where Morris was slotted in the formation up top. Another dangerous pass there from Jacob Jackson as the fresh legs of Noblat really won the ball back there for Seattle U. I'll check it into Meza now as he works it back around. Opportunities if they can flip the ball to the other side of the field, standing all alone for the Redhawks there, but now they find themselves in the box. Dangerous cross, takes a deflection. Referee signals for a corner kick. The crowd,
the supposedly neutral crowd, seems to disagree with the call.
The crowd very much disagreeing with it. From where we're sitting, it was tough to tell. The official obviously has a better angle than all of us here and in the crowd. Once again, McGlynn will take the corner kick for Seattle U. Signal goes up.
Seattle U.
Really only one player back for the Redhawks. This one is curled in, headed away nicely by Mercado.
Yeah, Mercado really elevated there.
Another cross comes in low, takes a couple deflections, and will end up wide, but that's really the danger of really hitting a ball into the box with that kind of pace. It's only one deflection away from finding the back of the net. That time it ends up behind the net entirely, and will end up with a goal kick for LMU.
It's all about putting the ball in a place where your team has a chance. You know, like you said, any deflection can really create something.
This one is checked into Garcia. He'll reverse it to the other side of the field for, I believe, Shockey. Tesler will swing it back around.
Bit of a press there from Avoce.
McGlynn now hovering around the left-hand side, is just unable to get there. Back to the goalkeeper. More press from Sanchez here, but Seattle U very comfortable on the ball. And the clearance there goes just wide of Ritchie and ends up with the Lions. Lions now working it. This one tried to play in behind for Cervantes, or Caliscan rather, but it's ultimately sniffed out by Ritchie. Seattle working out of a tight spot there will win themselves another corner kick. We enter the 39th minute now. Quick stats breakdown for the Lions. No shots on goal, 3 shots. 2 saves out of Jacob Jackson, 0 corner kicks for LMU, and 4 fouls called against the Lions. The Lions also were caught offsides 1 time. On the flip side for the Redhawks, as they play this one long towards the substitute Noblat. He's in a foot race against Corbin Mercado. It'll go out of bounds back to LMU.
Noblat exhibiting some speed there.
Yeah, really making use of the rest he was given to start this one off.
Absolutely.
Stats rundown for the Redhawks. 2 shots on goal, 3 shots total. No saves yet out of the goalkeeper. Currently has them listed at 0 corner kicks. I believe they had one just recently, and they've been caught offsides 2 times. Now the Lions trying to work things the other way. Great ball there from Sanchez to Dehaney Williams. Williams works down the left-hand side, step over, crosses a dangerous area just past Francis Avoce for the Lions, and a sliding tackle there. Won't do it for LMU, and Seattle will keep the ball, but a great bit of skill there from the Lions going the other way. It's a really good ball from Sanchez, open things up from Williams, who fizzed the ball low and across the face of goal. Looked like Avoce might have had a chance at it, even though it was a little bit behind him. Seattle once again is able to come away with the tie. Now they're still going forward. Avila Good leading the charge for the Redhawks.
Yeah, that's where Williams is dangerous. It was an excellent pass that set him up. And even though that ball was a little bit behind him, it looked like Avoce
Now
could have
Noblat
connected
here
with it.
fires a shot into the back of the net. And right after LMU creates a chance, Seattle U finishes a chance. And with 40 minutes and 40 seconds played here at Sullivan Field, the Seattle University Redhawks jump out to a 1-0 lead in the first round of the NCAA College Cup.
And Noblat, excellent job just being where he needs to be. Comes in with the fresh legs, makes an immediate impact, and he finds the bottom back right corner of the net.
And it was a great ball played into him there, hitting him perfectly on the run, and great composure from Noblat, who I believe was the goal scorer, to just touch it down and just really slot it past Jacob Jackson. Jackson, a tough goalie to beat, and Noblat definitely going for placement over power there. It was the right choice. He finds the back of the net. Officially 40 minutes and 40 seconds into the first half of action. Seattle U, by way of Connor Noblat, goes up 1-0.
Yeah, we've seen Seattle U being very methodical and patient on offense, a lot more so compared to the aggressive verticality of the Lions. That methodical approach pays off in the 41st minute.
And you can really tell there, Stephen, from the moment Noblat came on, he was giving the Lions a lot of trouble. It was only a matter of time before he got a very good chance. Credit to him, he put it away.
Only about 4 minutes left in this half. No extra time in NCAA soccer rules.
This one's cleared away by Lopez. Lions now in a completely different position. We're playing a back and forth game in which both teams were tied, but now all of a sudden Seattle jumps up to a 1-0 lead. They can sit on the ball as long as they'd want now. I'm sure they continue to press forward, go for the goal. More pressure from Noblat there, but good skill from Wood.
Yeah, lead definitely works toward the Redhawks' advantage too in their play stylistically. The more methodical play, of course, you know, helps you control the ball and eats up a lot more time.
And a lot of midfielders for Seattle U have exhibited great passing early on, whether it's Avila Good, Ortiz, or even Meza out wide on the left. This one is played long in. Almost another chance for LMU, but getting there before the Lion attacker is Akili Kazim.
Good awareness there from Kazim, especially that decisiveness running up on that ball.
This one is cleared away by Lopez, out of bounds, back to the Redhawks. For the Lions, it would be invaluable if they could get a goal to even things up. But for Seattle, currently, in a game that was full of back and forth momentum, now clearly possesses the edge in that category.
Yeah, very entertaining game so far. Both teams so evenly matched. A good matchup stylistically. And you can really make an argument both teams could have a lead here. Really a fun one to watch.
Now looking in behind for McGlynn. Corbin Mercado shielding him away, but McGlynn continues the press. Now it's Ortiz sliding in there for Seattle. Foul will be called.
Looks like Ortiz acknowledges the foul there. Bit of friendly words toward Christian Wood.
It's a quick restart there from the Lions.
Just under 2 minutes now remaining in the half before that buzzer sounds.
Back to the goalkeeper now. McGlynn will head it forward. Knocked down well by Noblat. He goes down in the midfield. The ball will stay with Seattle. Ortiz now in a dangerous area. Fires a shot, curling just wide.
Saw the Lion defender lose his footing right there. If Ortiz knew he would have lost his footing, maybe he could have set up a bit better of a shot.
And Seattle U very dangerous in pockets of space, especially up the middle. We've seen Ortiz and McGlynn both do a good job of tucking inside and really advancing the ball down the middle. This one looking long. Just falls short of a Voce there. Lions will swing it back around to Wood. Wood, under a minute left here for the Lions to get things going as Dehaney Williams checks it into Sanchez. Sanchez will reverse that. Nobody there for LMU. Just about 30 seconds left here in the first half. We saw a goal in the 41st minute that broke the tie here by Connor Noblat. Substitute, the only substitute in fact, I believe, for Seattle. So not going to the bench much are the Redhawks, but when they did, definitely the right choice.
They're very deliberate with their use of their starters. It has paid off.
10, 9, 8,
Lions with just under
7,
10 seconds here to get
6,
something going as they'll play a long one that takes the deflection off a Seattle player.
2, 1.
Looks like that'll be the half.
Referee might have called for a stoppage in play here.
2 seconds.
2 seconds left here in the half, just 2 seconds left.
Hard to imagine the ball can even reach the goal in under 2 seconds.
And upon the free kick from Lopez here, likely just take a shot at it as the clock runs out. Lopez will float this one right onto the face of goal, and the clock will expire. And that'll do it from your first half of action. The Lions currently trail this one. Seattle U up 1-0. It was a Connor Noblat goal in the 41st minute that broke our tie. And Steven, that first half of action, we saw both teams play very well, but how valuable is that goal going into the half?
Oh, it means everything. I mean, Seattle, imagine the different mindsets both teams have now going into halftime. I imagine LMU was feeling pretty good about themselves and how they were playing up until that 41st minute goal. And Seattle U now just can go in with a mindset of controlling the ball and keeping up what they're doing. And if they keep up like this, they can have enough control to win this game. The Lions have a lot more desperation now.
Yeah, credit to Seattle, they've created a lot of chances as well. We've seen quite a few shots just go on the wrong side of the post. Likewise for LMU, however, the best chance likely was later towards the end of the first half when Dehaney Williams was played a ball from Brandon Sanchez. Williams fizzed one across the face of goal just behind Francis Avoce, but that was a great chance for LMU there. See in the second half if they can get something going. Heading into the second half, Stephen, what do you think the Lions might do differently, or do you think it's really more of the same? Because credit to them, it was a very close first half.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you need to do. If you're an experienced team that has confidence in what you're doing, you'll recognize that, like, hey, we had a pretty good first half. We created some opportunities. Sure, we didn't find the back of the net, but the experienced teams that have been to the playoffs before and been to the tournament before, they'll know to have the confidence to keep doing what they're doing and keep hacking away until something falls. I think the Lions showed that they're capable of scoring, and I don't think they should overcompensate and change anything, really. And honestly, same goes for Seattle. I think their play style really fits that 1-0 lead. You'll notice the differences on both offenses. The Lions a lot more aggressive, a lot more vertical, to where Seattle is more methodical and takes control of the ball and holds on to it and burns some clock. I imagine both teams just going to do a lot more of the same.
Yeah, and we really think coming into the postseason, which players are going to step up for both teams. For Seattle U, a couple players really been active in the first half. Obviously, Connor Noblat, the goal scorer, but other than that, Jesse Ortiz paired with Julian Avila-Good have been dominant in the midfield for the Redhawks. They've been very comfortable on the ball. They've won the ball back in a lot of interesting spots for Seattle. And they've really been keeping the structure in this Seattle U team, and I think that's something they're really going to need going forward. Also, Declan McGlynn is really the man when we talk about this Redhawks team, and I think he did a good job of finding pockets of space, moving from sideline to sideline, just getting himself on the ball. And as you mentioned earlier in the first half, Stephen, when Declan McGlynn's on the ball, Seattle U's in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely creates opportunities for himself, for his teammates, and right when he gets control of the ball, it's just so much harder to get it out of his possession than any other player. So definitely someone you want to keep in control of the ball as much as possible if you are Seattle U.
Yeah, so that'll just about do it for us here from your first half of action. We're going to step away for a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. The current score is Seattle U 1, LMU 0. You're watching round 1 of the 2019 NCAA Men's College Cup on the LMU Sports Network and Watch Stadium. Welcome back to Sullivan Field alongside Stephen Nassif. I'm Rayhan Ball, bringing you a quick halftime show. We're here from Sullivan Field on the campus of Loyola Marymount University, where in the first round of the NCAA men's soccer tournament, the Seattle U Redhawks lead the Lions 1-0. And heading into the first half, or heading into the second half rather, the Lions played a strong first half and so did Seattle. The scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect how close that game was. It was a late goal from the Redhawks that allowed them to pull ahead. If you're Paul Crumpy in that Lions locker room at halftime, what are you telling your players?
Well, you have to establish a sense of confidence within your team. I honestly would argue in that first half, if it wasn't for that 41st minute goal, that the Lions probably slightly outplayed Seattle. They created a few more opportunities. They dominated time and possession. So even though you haven't been to the postseason since 2013, you have to be able to let your players know that you still have 45 minutes of another half. You have to keep doing what you're doing. Don't overcompensate. Don't make mistakes, and don't rush anything. And you'll find the back of the net if you keep on pounding away.
Yeah, and I would completely agree with that. On the flip side for Seattle, if I'm in charge there, it's just more of the same. We've been here before. We've played a strong first half, essentially on the road. You touched upon the neutral site, right, despite the game being at LMU. The away fans have traveled well, but it's a predominantly LMU crowd that have been charging on this Lions team. Seattle has done their job well. They've come ahead 1-0. They're the team currently in the top 25. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting the ball to Declan McGlynn. Allow him to move around. Find him in pockets of space. And whenever he has the ball, things can really unlock for players around him, whether it's Ortiz or Morris.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Seattle, you're absolutely exactly where you want to be. You have to be very happy with that second half. They've been playing patiently. They haven't been forcing anything or making any huge mistakes as a result. And they were able to create a great goal-scoring opportunity in which they converted on. And now they have a 1-0 lead going into the second half. They have a great methodical play style, and that methodical play style will help them keep control of the ball and burn clock and make it even harder for the Lions to kind of fight their way back.
And a big thing for Seattle here, we're talking about the importance of it being a postseason game and national stages, to not get ahead of yourselves. You are up 1-0 on the road. You have to make sure you keep the quality that got you here. It's easy to look forward to playing Stanford and getting a chance to upset them in the next round, but it's a tough Lions team, and Seattle's very capable of holding on to this lead, but they just can't forget about the second half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we talk about all these unknown variables. I mean, in a sport like soccer, 1 second you feel like you're in a comfortable spot, and then one person can slip on the field. I mean, we've seen these field conditions be a little difficult for these players, and then something completely new opens up. So you just have to keep locked in and keep focused. This is really where coaching comes in, I'd say, for both teams to a great extent.
Yeah, and especially going into the second half, all coaches always use the adage, just pretend the score is 0-0. But sitting at 0-1 right now, how important is getting that second goal for Seattle U, jumping ahead 2-0 in the second half and an almost insurmountable lead there? And if you're the Lions, getting that goal, getting the crowd back into it and evening things up would be huge.
Absolutely. I mean, if the Lions are able to score that to score that tying goal, I'd argue that they would be a slight favorite to win the game. Of course, that's a big if. And essentially, a second goal for Seattle is like a nail in the coffin for the Lions. It's really something psychologically that makes, a 1-0 lead is a lot easier to, surpass than a 2-0 lead, essentially.
Yeah, we've seen good play from both teams and a lot of chances created. Despite the score being 1-0 Seattle U, both Seattle and LMU have created plenty of scoring chances. Both goalkeepers have come up big, but we've seen a lot of shots just on the wrong side of the post. It's pretty crazy that the score is just 1-0 here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been an action-packed game. It's been very fast-paced, especially on the Lions side. There was that opportunity from Duhaney Williams where he crossed it right over to Avoce and he just missed it. It's just something, anything can really happen, and it's something to really keep an eye on. I suspect the second half will be a lot more fast-paced, especially for the Lions side. I think their aggressive nature kind of suits them to help them surmount this 1-0 deficit. And, just something to look for. And really, it's a fun game. It's an entertaining game to watch.
Yeah, when it comes to personnel for Seattle, we saw the same 11 for essentially the entire first half. On the flip side for LMU, a lot of players moving around. If you're Paul Crumpy in charge of this Lions team, obviously depth is a strength. But who are a couple guys that you really want to see out there in the moments that matter the most?
Well, someone I always look for is Nick Deschaux. He's out there usually, so far this season, creating opportunities for the Lions from the defensive position, really setting up these long vertical passes that really push and lengthen the field. You also have players such as Duhaney Williams and San Roman that can run down the sides very well and really create opportunities with their speed. And again, that really suits the vertical passing game from the Lions and helps them create a lot of quick strike opportunities.
Yeah, and I think that's the key you touched upon there for the Lions is the pace coming from the outside. When it comes to Seattle U, we've seen a lot of creative dribbling inside from players like Ortiz and McGlynn, but on the flip side for LMU, it's having those pacey players out wide, Duhaney Williams, having Leo Zulli out there, CJ Neville, and all these guys they can just get in behind. That's really where the Lions are at their best.
Yeah, a great way to simplify it is the Lions are a very fast team, and they use that speed, and they use that to be aggressive and push the field, to where the Seattle U is a very methodical team who has very good ball control and dribbling, and essentially it makes for a great matchup.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. So that'll just about do it for us here at a quick halftime show. Alongside Stephen Nass, I'm Rayhan Ball. You're watching the first round of the NCAA men's soccer tournament on the LMU Sports Network and Watch Stadium. Welcome back, everybody, to Sullivan Field on the beautiful campus of Loyola Marymount University. Alongside Stephen Nassif, I'm Ray Humble. We are just about set for kickoff from the second half of action here. We're in the first round of the NCAA men's soccer tournament. Seattle U has come down to Los Angeles and put up a 1-0 lead against the Lions. That goal came in the 41st minute and it was scored by the only substitution of the game so far for the Redhawks, Connor Noblat. Noblat played just 9 minutes and he got one chance and took very much advantage of that opportunity.
You know, we were talking about experience earlier in the pregame, and this is just a really interesting spot to see how the experience plays in. You know, the stereotype would be for the younger, more inexperienced Lion team to panic and maybe not be able, you know, maybe make more mistakes and get a little sloppy and trying to overcompensate for that deficit. You know, it's interesting to see how Paul Crumpy can rally the troops and calm them down and make them feel like they have a lot of time to create something.
Now we'll see how the Lions respond to adversity here. Seattle U, a very good team playing from a very good position now, up 1-0, heading into the second half. Definitely look to a lot of their better players, more senior leadership there on the Redhawks side. See if they can stay composed, control the lead, and we talked about at halftime, Stephen, a second goal, especially early for Seattle, would be huge.
Oh yeah, I mean, the next goal that's scored either way is going to be a very big goal. And, you know, definitely I talk about Seattle U being methodical and wanting to burn clock, but obviously and absolutely they want to score that second goal. It's a great insurance policy against any sort of mistakes or big plays by the Lions, and it just makes you feel a lot more comfortable throughout the second half.
So for the Lions, looks like very similar lineup to what they started the game with, not what they ended the first half with. Got Jack Sauls back up the middle. Also out there for the Lions. Dehaney Williams.
Still no Nick DeShow.
Cervantes controls the ball there. Center back pairing has been very strong for the Lions so far. Gerardo Lopez and Corbin Mercado both played very well. Now Ortiz checks back onto the ball. This one will swing back to the goalkeeper.
Ball looked like it slipped off the side of Acton Petronitis' foot, probably due to the field conditions.
Now Shockey will take the throw for LMU.
I know we were walking around the field during the pregame, and there was a lot of dew on that field. Easy to slip on, tough to get kind of an even footing.
We've seen a couple players go down, especially in that first half. Now moving down the left-hand side are the Lions. Cross comes in towards the near post, headed away. Dehaney Williams still gets the ball around the edge of the box. Heavy touch will cause a clearance. Lions will keep possession. Mercado heads it back out wide to Wood.
Dehaney Williams had the right idea there. He was in good position, but the touch was just too strong.
Now Ritchie goes into McGlynn, back out wide. Noblat keeps it out wide.
Good cross from Noblat.
Ortiz.
Ortiz, rather.
Noblat back to Ortiz. Ortiz really spent probably the most time on the ball of any Red Hawk so far. So it'll come back to Tesler. Seattle U very much sticking to their guns. No more substitutions as it's Meza here, the only person still out there. It's the only person that came from the bench in the first place, which is Noblat, who lays this one off. It's a nice tackle there from Cervantes, but unable to control it inbounds, out of bounds, throw in to Seattle right around the edge of the box. Looks like Acton Petronotis will take the throw. This one to Meza. Now crossed high and towards the back post. Bobbled there by Jacob Jackson. And a quick restart there for LMU. Dehaney Williams gets the ball, tries to turn back inside, does get past the defender. Now Williams charging forward for the Lions. Williams has a player on the opposite side of the field looking for Cervantes. Cervantes, good job controlling it. Working down the right-hand side, but Seattle U tracks back well. Noe Meza. This one is hit towards Sauls in the penalty area, unable to get there, but Dehaney Williams ultimately comes away with it. Dehaney Williams crosses it back into the box. Dangerous here for LMU. It's a shot fired just high of the bar. And it's a golden opportunity for LMU. As the goalkeeper goes down, the ball trickles towards the edge of the box and the shot sails over the bar.
You know, we were talking about the inexperience of a team like LMU, how they would do in high pressure situations like that. And it really showed in that situation that they haven't been in 6 years.
And that'll bring the crowd back to life, but probably not for the reasons Lion players wanted. It's the best chance we've seen really all game for either team almost. Got a great chance from Noblat that he ended up finishing the first half, but for that chance for LMU, goalkeeper Kasim was on the ground. Just couldn't hit the target there.
Yeah, I mean, he practically had an open net. He didn't need that much pace on it, but, you know, just unfortunate shot there for the Lions. Seattle U lucky to not have this one be tied 1-1.
That's a foul there as Lopez brings down McGlynn. That would have been huge for the Lions to put away a goal that early into the second half. Now on the flip side, Seattle is breathing a little easier.
The Lions now with 2 excellent opportunities. I'd say that's the best one they had. The other one being the Dehaney Williams cross to Francis Avoce in the middle of the first half. Both opportunities looked like fairly easy goals as far as they come, but Lions could not convert.
That one will go out of bounds. The shot for the Lions that sailed over the bar was taken by Bastian Oberle. Oberle's been very good for the Lions this season. Just unable to tuck away what was one of his easier chances all year long. Now they'll restart by way of Lopez. Checks it into Shockey. Sanchez coming back to the ball. Shockey will just advance it. Chested down by Sauls. Cervantes will run onto this one. Ritchie matches him for Seattle U. Oberle now.
Not too much of a press coming from Seattle U.
Dehaney Williams. It's a good job there by the Redhawks to not allow Dehaney Williams to get the ball on the move. Anytime you can contain him and force him to get the ball with his back to the goal, it's a lot less dangerous. Nice little 1-2 there. Sanchez into Cervantes. Cervantes coming back to it, but a good tackle from Meza opens things up for Seattle. Caliscan now for LMU. Looking for options. Tries to play it through. Nobody there.
Another mistake there from the Lions.
Meza tracking back. It'll go out of bounds. And it'll be a throw in for the Redhawks.
You can see the frustration from the Lions, especially their body language. You know, obviously finding themselves down at this point in the game and having such good opportunities to score and not really converting on.
Once again, Shockey. Throw it in long for Sauls. Well defended there. This one will check in. It's not on the same page there where the Red Hawk attackers. Now battling is Sanchez. Nice little turn there from Sanchez. Gives Caliscan a bit of space. He'll lay it off for Oberle, just checks it back to Wood. Wood now charging down that left-hand side, trying to keep the ball in, unable to do so. Throw in back to the Redhawks.
Again, probably has to do a little bit with that field, with those field conditions, having a little less control on where you land on those slides. Heads up play there from the Lion defender. Seattle U evades it. The Lions retain possession.
This one will come out wide to Shockey. Into Cervantes. Now stepping up is Lopez. Big long ball played into Cervantes. Dangerous here, low across the face of goal, into the back of the net for the Lions as Dehaney Williams ties things up for LMU on a beautiful cross from Marisco Cervantes. And that'll bring the crowd to life We are officially all square, 1-1 in the 52nd minute.
Duhaney Williams running over to the neutral crowd. Very supportive of the Lions. Of course, Lions getting to play this game essentially at home. And, you know, that was an excellent cross, a great opportunity. And the Lions finally able to convert early on in the first half, too.
We talked about how the Lions might be regretting the missed opportunity by Oberle, but they turned things right around and put one in the back of the net only moments later.
Yeah, hard to overstate how big that goal was for the Lions, especially at this point in the half. Definitely can feel like there's a lot of momentum on their side. Interesting to see now how Seattle U's experience will play in here. They're a little bit of a precarious situation. LMU has the goal and the opportunities and the home crowd on their side.
McGlynn trying to get there. He's brought down edge of the box. Foul will be called. Now it'll be a free kick in a dangerous area. Just on the edge of the box here for the Red Hawks. Free kick here for Seattle U. Looks like 3 players are over this one. Appears Ortiz and McGlynn as well as Meza.
Visibility here, a little threatened by those celebratory smoke bombs the Lions let off. Ironically, the red is also Seattle U's colors.
Free kick, now taken by Meza, driven into the back of the net. And what an answer there from Seattle U as a fantastic free kick. Puts them right back on top 2-1.
Back and forth we go. Great response there by Seattle U. You know, we talked about experience and how that plays in, and this is just a great example of not getting phased and taking the lead right back.
And it's a brilliant free kick there by number 10, Jesse Ortiz. We saw 3 players lined up on top of the free kick. I believe it was Ortiz alongside McGlynn and Noe Meza. With Meza and McGlynn running over it, that only left Ortiz to take the shot, and Ortiz made the most of his opportunity. A beautiful curling ball into the top right-hand corner. And right when we thought LMU took the momentum, Seattle comes and snatches it right back.
Yeah, amazing to watch the crowd here just kind of be taken on this emotional roller coaster, and now the energy is just sucked out once again.
Now working forward is Meza. Checks it in. McGlynn, nice bit of skill there. Fires a shot, blocked nicely by LMU, but it falls for no blanc. LMU comes away with it, but Seattle University with some momentum.
Now.
Here we go to Haney Williams. Aaron touch there as he almost had a great chance going forward.
Yeah, that would have been a great opportunity for the Lions. Boy, the pace is really picking up in this game. Both teams just being aggressive and pushing the ball upfield.
So I'll head back from Mercado. Players playing in a bit of smoke now. Nice dribbling there from Sanchez. Frees up Cervantes once again down the right-hand side. Crosses it low. Sniffed out by Seattle U this time. Fans signaling for a handball.
Looked like a pretty clear foul there.
Yeah, looks like prior to the handball, we had a foul called on Cervantes.
You know, the smoke is awful cinematic. Of course, it would be fun to play in, I imagine, except for the fact you have to breathe it.
Yeah, smoke hanging around a bit longer than I think we might have imagined, but providing a very unique atmosphere here, really laying low over the field.
Rayhan, how do you feel now if you're the Lions? They just, proved they were able to strike back and tie the game up, and they lost that lead. How do you feel, going forward now?
I think it's really along the lines of what you said, just back and forth we go. Now both teams fully showing that they're capable of scoring on each other, capable of creating great opportunities. Still have plenty of game left. We have 2 teams that can easily come away with the win here. Nice bit of skill there. The Lions coming down the left-hand side. Now cross played in towards Sauls, unable to get there. Williams chases it down. Williams slips and falls, edge of the box. Yeah. Checking it back is Richie.
I imagine the Lions would prefer the score to be 2-1 here than 1-0, because at least, mentality-wise, you're you've gotten that first goal and you've proven to yourself that you're capable of doing it.
Yeah, and we saw the Lions also with that Oberle chance. Really easily could be at 2 goals as well, but once again, charging forward are the Red Hawks. It appears to be Ortiz. Flicks it back out wide down the right-hand side of Vila. Good now will float across in high and over everybody's head. Goal kick for LMU.
That smoke moving very slowly away from the field. Starting to clear up finally toward the stands at least.
And we talk about coming into the NCAA tournament, players with more of experienced backgrounds really stepping up. And it was number 10, Jesse Ortiz, a freshman out of Houston, Texas, Deer Park High School, with a little moment of magic there. First time in the tournament for him, but really living up to the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what you live for as a college athlete, to get the opportunity like that and be able to really convert. That's what it's all about.
This one now is hit curling out of bounds. Just unable to control it is Noblat. Lions will get a throw in back going the other way. Plenty of support here for both teams, so we've seen the crowd swing emotionally a lot in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game that, regardless of who wins, already feels like something that's very earned from either team. Both teams so evenly matched, and really, you know, not without their share of opportunities. Seattle U just the one who can convert more of them.
Lion player brought down. They're now emerging into a bit of space as LMU. Ball comes across. Good chance for the Lions. Just wide once again. And another golden opportunity for the Lions. Misses the frame of the goal.
You think Acton Petronitis got a piece of that? It looked like he might have, the way the ball sailed wide. He slid in at the last second there.
Yeah.
Hard to tell, though.
Yeah, it's tough to tell from where we're at, but it really looked like Cervantes just came across the face of the ball and just didn't quite catch enough of it. A lot of pace on it, but definite side spin there, and that one was well off target, and it was moving even further away off target if he was a bit further away from the goal.
But, you know, interesting that both defenses kind of breaking down in these last, I guess, ever since that 41st minute. A lot of opportunities created.
And for the Lions, it's a very tough mental game now. You've seen a good chance from Oberle, a good chance from Cervantes. Both just missed the target.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, you can't really ask for more.
Yeah, it's one thing to ask the goalkeeper to make a save, but it's another thing to miss the frame entirely. Lions still showing they can create chances. Seattle still holding on to the lead.
Duhaney Williams might have been pushed there. Kind of hard to tell, though, with these field conditions. People slipping and sliding so easily.
Now a lot of space here for Sanchez. Sanchez.
We've seen him score from long earlier this season.
Sanchez will curl one, takes the deflection, goes out. We'll see which player it went off of.
Looks like the right call there by the ref, even though the fans disagree.
Yeah, the official ultimately saying that one came off of Sauls. Sanchez has been great for the Lions ever since he entered the game later in the first half.
Yeah, both Sanchez and Duhaney Williams making their impacts known and being facilitators of great opportunities for the Lions.
LMU still fighting for it. Cervantes checks it inside. Just unable to get there are the Lions. Mercado puts it into Caliscan. Right back to Mercado. He'll swing it around to Lopez. Noblat pressing here. Now Shockey. A little bit of room to run into. Plays it out wide to Cervantes. Cervantes created a lot of chances for LMU early. Also had a good chance, so he's been very involved. This one ultimately just come back to Mercado. Swings it around to Wood. Wood looking for the reverse. Just McGlynn up pressing now for the Red Hawks. Lopez with options.
Lions with a long, patient possession here. Really taking their time.
It's a long diagonal hit to Duhaney Williams. Williams checks it down. Cutting inside is Williams. He'll opt to just lay it back out wide to Wood.
Interesting to note, the smoke still hasn't cleared completely from that goal from the Lions. The Lions do score again. I'd be interested to see if they would set off another one of those smoke bombs.
Now Sanchez moving in a bit of space here. Good in tight spaces there. Very controlled dribbler. As that cross did hit the hand of Noe Meza.
Looked like a late call, but the fans made themselves heard, and it did indeed look like a handball.
Yeah, Lion fans definitely taking a bit of credit for that one. Sanchez will get the free kick. It'll be Sanchez taking the free kick for LMU. Right along the right sideline. Crosses this one low. An out swinging ball is taken by LMU. Caliscan checks it around. Ultimately, it's cleared away very convincingly there by Meza. Jacob Jackson will settle in on it.
Seattle U not had possession for the last couple of minutes. I'd say Lions have been dominating time and possession so far in this half.
Lopez now plays it low down the middle. Almost a great chance here for the Lions. Saul's just able to control the ball.
Yeah, Saul slipped there. Could have had more of an opportunity there.
Now it's Williams working down the left-hand side. Step over from Dehaney Williams. Creates a bit of space. Crosses it in. Flicked up, but still in the box here. Lion player brought down. No foul called.
Good no call there by the referee. Didn't look like much contact from the Seattle U player initiated.
Now working forward are the Redhawks. More press from the Lions here. Seattle does escape with a clearance.
The Lions looking very aggressive here.
A little too aggressive for the referee's liking. That'll end up with a free kick for Seattle. Dehaney Williams, the culprit there. Official stopping the clock momentarily. See if either team goes to the bench. Lions, as we saw in the first half, the more likely team to.
I don't believe they've dipped into their bench so far in this second half. Of course, it looks like the players they have on the field right now working well for them.
It's a long one, played right off the head of Mercado. Ritchie chests it down for Ortiz, checks it into McGlynn. Back to Avila Good. These little passing displays from Seattle, you have been the difference for them, just being able to control the ball, move it forward. Big ball towards the back post here. Noe Meza checks it back into the middle. No one there for him. But Seattle still holding the ball here. Dangerous area. McGlynn now, nice turn. McGlynn fighting for the ball around the edge of the box. It's ultimately played even wider for Ortiz. Ortiz moving around, crosses it towards the back post, looking for Meza. He does get it. Meza back into the middle. Shot fired, saved there by Jacob Jackson. And a big moment for Jacob Jackson, and he was up to every bit of it there. And now the Lions are coming the other way. Long ball played in behind for Saul. Saul's chasing this one down. Has Dehaney Williams running alongside him. This one will stay inbounds with Jack Sauls. Ultimately does go out of bounds. Possession back to LMU.
Great defense there by Sam Tessler. Really stopped what could have been a great opportunity by the Lions, but Sauls just couldn't get past them.
Lions will keep things going forward now. Shot fired from a long ways away. Fortunately for the Lions, they don't give the ball away there. Seattle dropping back now. Plenty of players behind the ball. Another nice block there from Seattle on the cross. Lions continue to pick up the tempo, pick up the pace, just keeping the pressure on Seattle. Currently trailing 2-1. McGlynn is really the only player for the Redhawks who is ahead of the ball now. Everyone else sitting back, trying to defend and hang on to this one-goal lead.
Yeah, just
and it's great stuff there from Lopez. Dancing around Seattle U players, drawing a foul. That'll bring the crowd to life, but Lopez is down for the Lions.
there's the yellow card.
The yellow card also brings the fans to life, but Lopez appears to be down. We'll see how serious it is. Gerardo Lopez, a staple in the lineup for LMU, an anchor in the back four, very crucial to the success of this Lion team. He's up, looks to be moving around. So Lopez should be good to go.
Yeah, that little possession there by Lopez really got the crowd into it. Let's see if the Lions can really ride any of that momentum. Big save earlier by Jacob Jackson, keeping them in this game.
This one is coming towards the back post, headed away by Seattle. Ortiz trying to get on it. Dehaney Williams ultimately ends up with it. That'll force another clearance. McGlynn trying to run on the end of it. Good job there by Shockey. We talked about in the pregame the importance of Jacob Jackson and the idea that we knew there was going to be a big moment in which he was called upon. And right there, Jacob Jackson up to the challenge, keeps the Lions within striking distance.
Yeah, I mean, it really just, really have to marvel at that awareness. It just seemed like such a tough shot to kind of get a handle on and put your body in the right position. But he was able to do it successfully. Now the Lions are still only down 1, easily within striking distance. Seattle U now taking it up.
Now Ortiz flying down the right-hand side for the Redhawks. Nice cut back inside, but the second trailing defender ultimately won the ball back for LMU. Looks like it was Wood. Lions just trying to get something going the other way.
You talk about how good Seattle U is passing the ball. It definitely just feels so dangerous whenever they have possession, especially deep into Lion territory.
Sanchez now lays it off for Shockey. Nice little layoff back to Sanchez, who fires a shot well over the bar. No real danger there, but for the Lions.
Substitution for Seattle U.
It was Brandon Sanchez who fired that one from a long ways out. So we'll have another substitution. This time it'll be for Seattle, a defender coming on. It's Thomas Mikowski exiting the game.
Things slowing down now after a really action-packed 15 or 20 minutes.
Noblat now.
See if the pace keeps up at the same level.
It's a great ball in behind here for Meza. Seattle U, another good chance here. Shot fired, once again saved. Jacob Jackson for the Lions, keeping them in this one.
Yeah, definitely putting in a lot of work tonight. Looks like LMU has been the one threatening so far this half, but Seattle U has had their opportunities as well.
That's been a couple great saves from Jacob Jackson to keep the Lions in this one. Seattle up 2-1 now, 67th minute here from Sullivan Field.
Very evenly matched half once again. Just a great, exciting game here on Sullivan Field.
Smoke finally beginning to clear here on the field from the first Lion goal. This one is cleared away by LMU. Seattle will keep pushing it forward, however. Going for an amazing goal there. It'll stay with McGlynn, though. Declan McGlynn in the box on the ball. Cross towards the back post. Headed still dangerous area. Bicycle kick. Nice save there from Jacob Jackson. But it was almost a wonder goal there to put Seattle up 3-1. And we've seen a very busy Jacob Jackson over these last 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Seattle U there connecting very well on that bicycle kick. And Jacob Jackson just being heads up and being aware. Just showing up where he needs to be, just as a good goalie needs to.
That was a great chance there from Seattle U as they continue to create good opportunities. Foul call there takes away a Lion chance. Crowd doesn't like that one. And it appears that it was Connor Noblat, the first goal scorer, with a bit of athleticism on that bicycle kick. Not easy to do to even put a shot on target. And that one had a lot of pace behind it. So not only did he get contact on the ball, he hit it well. This will be a free kick back to Seattle U. We'll quiet down the Lion crowd just a bit. Seattle taking their time now, ahead 2-1. No need to rush anything from their perspective.
About a little over 20 minutes remaining in regulation.
This one is floated towards Meza.
Good control there from Meza.
Yeah, nice touch from Meza, but just too many Lion players around him to really get anything going, as Saul's now looking for options. Plays it to Caliscan, or rather Cervantes. Shockey now looking for options, just ends up going back to Lopez. Lopez thinking about switching the field. He does by way of Mercado. This one comes out to Lopez. Now Shockey floats this one in behind, looking for
Great
Sanchez,
pass.
just unable to get on it. A really good ball there from Shockey.
Here comes Seattle U. Once they've crossed into Lion territory, they've been especially dangerous and very efficient.
It's a great sliding tackle there by the Lions, but it will go out of bounds. Seattle will keep possession. Substitution, first one for Seattle in the second half was Josh Castrillon on the back four. Now we have another substitution here. Jesse Ortiz exits the game for Seattle U. For the Lions, it appears to be Francis Avocha entering the game for Jack Sauls. So substitutions for both teams there.
Avocha with that 6'4" frame. Definitely a strong striker who can be very dangerous in certain situations.
He can cause a lot of trouble for Seattle if they can create chances. Now Noblack going forward. Checks it back inside. Almost a great opportunity there for Meza if they could get it to him, but the Lions sniffed it out. Sanchez once again leading the counterattack, plays it in behind for Williams.
There's that
Dehaney
speed
Williams
from
runs
Williams.
onto it. Dehaney Williams now down the left-hand side, lays it in for Avocha, fires a shot just wide. And another good chance there for the Lions. Fails to find the target, Francis Avocha. Puts it wide. That'll keep Seattle ahead 2-1.
Dehaney Williams just showing off how threatening he can be. He was a couple of steps behind the Seattle U defender, but they let him well, and he was able to catch up and create an opportunity out of it.
Now you got a couple substitutions now, both of them for the Lions. We have Gaetan Rowe and Will DeBay entering the game for LMU. Bastian Oberle exits. Now Cervantes charging forward. Nice sliding tackle there from Seattle. Good no call. Lion fans not a fan of that one, but it looked like he got the ball first from where we're sitting.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an excellent play by Case Westra. Really clutch, and just showing that veteran presence.
Richie unhappy with the call there. But LMU takes the ball. 72 minutes played now. Lions running out of time now if they want to force overtime or even pull ahead in regulation. This one is laid off.
I mean, just going back to that slide tackle by Case Westra, I mean, it looked like the Lions were really coming downfield and had 2 men against 1, and they had a great opportunity, and just such a clean all-ball slide tackle, and just absolutely deflated that possession.
That was a huge moment there. Lions had Cervantes charging forward, and the brilliant sliding tackle freed him up. Once again, Cervantes here. Plenty of traffic. Cervantes dancing around, lays it off here for DeBay. He's on sides. The cross will take a deflection out of bounds. Corner kick to LMU.
Lions still successfully able to penetrate Seattle U's side of the field.
Corner kick here for the Lions. Both teams have been very active. Gaetan Rowe to take it.
Look out for Avocha here with that size.
Avocha just over his head, takes a deflection towards the back post. Bicycle kick blocked, still in a dangerous area. Hit away once again. A lot of traffic there for both teams. Big sliding tackle for LMU. So the ultimate decision is the ball will stay with the Redhawks. Seattle U clinging on to a lead here. Plenty of good chances created by both teams in the second half. We saw 1-0 first half. 2 goals scored rather in this second half, 1 apiece. And we could easily have far more than 3 goals in this game, Steven.
Yeah, I mean, interesting thing to note here, a lot of these, only 3 substitutions coming from Seattle U so far this game. The Lions, on the other hand, with 7 substitutions. So this is the point in the game where those substitutions should theoretically help out the Lions as Seattle U players fatigue.
Free kick now for the Lions. Once again, Rowe to take it. In swinging ball here, punched away nicely by the goalkeeper. Cleared away ultimately by McGlynn.
Great punch there from Akili Kasim, doing exactly what he needs to do.
Player down in the box for LMU. The official 3rd substitution for Seattle U was Harrison Kurtz. midfielder.
I believe that is Gayton Rowe.
A row down for the Lions here. He's a very important player for the Lions. Takes a couple set pieces. Moves the ball around offensively. Trainers now out on the field to check in on how serious this is.
Stretching that left leg, it looks like.
Get you the official update. The injury when we see it. Looks like it might just be a cramp.
Yeah, it's usually, at least that's what we hope the
Looks
injury is, something not too serious.
It looks like it might be Corbin Mercado actually for the Lions down there. Mercado been very busy so far, right next to Gerardo Lopez in the back four. Now a couple Lion players, Caliscan and Devoce, going to check in on him. So again, we would assume it's just a cramp, just by the way he's being stretched out.
I mean, I imagine if you had an injury on that leg, you won't want to stretch it out like that from just, you know, a pretty base level understanding. Looks like they're testing out that ankle too, though. So we'll get you an official update once we have it.
Right now, the stoppage in play clock is currently stopped at 73 minutes and 57 seconds. I'll give you a quick stats rundown for the Lions. 1 shot on goal, 9 shots taken. Big discrepancy there. 3 saves out of Jacob Jackson. All of them have been crucial. 1 corner kick for the Lions, 9 fouls. They haven't caught offsides once. For Seattle U, 5 shots on goal, 11 shots total. No saves yet out of the goalkeeper. 1 corner kick, 6 fouls, and they were called offsides twice.
Mercado jogging off now, which is a good sign.
Got a substitution now for LMU. Replacing Mercado, it'll be number 26 for the Lions entering the game. Cesar Oliva, he'll slot in as the second center back.
Substitution for the Lions entering the game, junior defender number 26, Cesar Oliva. Replacing number 21, Corbin Mercado.
This one is played low and off a Seattle defender. Lions will keep possession. Good press there from McGlynn, making Lopez think twice. Voce hits it back.
Just over 15 minutes left in this game now. Here comes McGlynn.
Now McGlynn in behind, down the right-hand side, cuts back inside, dancing around in the box as McGlynn. He lays it off. Jacob Jackson ultimately pounces on it for LMU.
Good aggressiveness there shown from Jackson. Ball rolling around in a dangerous area, just decide to get rid of it.
Caliscan, a bit of trouble getting that one around McGlynn. Long ball played here from Oliva. Avoce chested down nicely to Cervantes. Player brought down there.
No call from what looked like a little bit of a foul from Gayton Rowe.
Voce holds things up nicely there for LMU, checks it back to Lopez. Lopez, round Shockey.
Lions taking their time with it here.
Cervantes looking for DeBay. Nice bit of defending there from Oliva. Give the Lions a chance to reset defensively, but now time is very much working against LMU. Seattle U hanging on to a 2-1 lead. We have under 15 minutes left in regulation here. Winner goes on to Northern California to play Stanford, one of the best programs in the country.
Looks like the pace slowing a little bit here. Seattle U's advantage.
McGlynn goes down in the box, no foul called. Now Oliva hits this one towards Avoce, who knocks it back nicely to Cervantes. Two players sliding into each other there, both of them up though. Appears to be no injury. Avoce well offsides there. That'll go back to Seattle. You just out of position there. It's Francis Avoce. 77th minute approaching now.
Expect to see a little more urgency from the Lions, and with that urgency comes unpredictability.
Wilderbay tries to check it forward. This ball bounces around, will end up with the goalkeeper for the Redhawks. For Seattle in goal it is Akili Kasim. Kasim not really asked to make many saves as of now, but he had a couple good punches on dangerous crosses. This one will take deflection off Cervantes, out of bounds, back to Seattle U. Ultimately, Jacob Jackson on it for LMU. He'll play it to Lopez. Lopez now floats it off the head of Avoce, looking to tack it on towards Williams, who goes down. He will draw a foul there in favor of the Lions. Quick restart by LMU, looking for Cervantes on the back post. Good idea, just not equally good execution there by LMU.
Yeah, Case Wester exactly where he needed to be.
Now Declan McGlynn plays a great ball inside to Meza. Checks it back inside. Great chance for Seattle into the back of the net. And a brilliant build-up play there for the Redhawks. Puts Seattle U up 3-1 now. 78 minutes played here from Sullivan Field. And Steven now up 2 goals. Time is of the essence for the Lions.
Oh, absolutely. That goal was an excellent display of everything Seattle U does well. Whenever they get the ball in their opponent's territory, they're dangerous. They connect on great passes, and they just are in control with their great finishers. And I mean, the Lions definitely looking like they're in rougher shape now. Seattle, all they have to do is hang on to this 2-goal lead to move on against Stanford in the second round of this tournament.
It was a brilliant display of passing from Seattle U, bouncing the ball around. Ultimately, things did start with Declan McGlynn as he played Meza in very nicely, and credit to Meza in the box. Had a chance to shoot it, but ultimately pulled back, played a smart ball across the face of goal, and it was tucked away nicely for the 3rd goal of the game for Seattle. 4th goal overall tonight. Now the Redhawks lead the Lions 3-1. Just 12 minutes left in regulation. This one towards the head of Avoce.
For the Lions. Now entering the game, number 10, Brandon Sanchez.
Brandon Sanchez entering for the Lions for Will DeBay, as well as Jack Sauls entering the game, alongside Bastian Oberle. Gaetan Rowe exits for the Lions.
Number 17, Jack Sauls, replacing Cesar Oliva.
And finally, Cesar Oliva was the 3rd line to come off. We're seeing the Lions move to a back 3 now, 2 strikers for LMU.
Crowd really taken out of this game with that 3rd Seattle U goal.
And as a fan, it's tough to keep the energy. When you're only down 1, every chance means basically tying the game up, putting yourself right back level. And now just the idea that even if the Lions are able to get their 2nd goal, they're still 1 away. Makes things a lot tougher for everyone here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see it even on the energy level from the Lions.
And more good pressure there from Noe Meza. And I think really got to credit the conditioning of the Seattle U team. Not going to the bench that much, but constant pressure, constant composure on the ball, despite not really moving into many new players.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, of all the games we've called so far, this might have been the fewest amount of substitutes we've seen from any team through almost 80 minutes. And that just goes to show that Seattle U knows what it's doing, and they believe in what they're doing. Their players are in good enough shape to accomplish it.
Right on cue, we'll get a substitution from Seattle U.
Substitution for Seattle U, now entering the game.
Interestingly
11,
enough,
Morris,
they'll bring on James Norris and bring off Declan McGlynn. Declan McGlynn really been all over the place here for 80 minutes. So now up 2 goals, give him a chance to rest. I'd assume if the Lions were to get a goal or bring things a little bit closer, we'd see McGlynn right back out there. So a very minor version of resting your star player here.
Yeah, but still putting in another starting striker.
This one will come back.
Of course, we've seen.
Once again, nice little 1-2, big punch away there. Jacob Jackson looking for a quick restart for the Lions. He does get it. Now here come the Lions down the left-hand side. Into a Voce. Voce looking for options. He'll just play it back to Lopez.
You know, of course, we've seen what happened to Tua, the quarterback from Alabama. And you can't fault somebody with a little bit of a lead here for resting their star player.
And Dehaney Williams now trying to cross it back in, but it'll be cleared away nicely by Seattle. Lopez taking it away for LMU, trying to get something going the other way. The Lions now very much up against the clock. Seattle dropping plenty of players behind the ball. Cervantes heads it. Sanchez tries to play it towards back. Around the penalty area, just unable to get contact on it. Ritchie now will lay it off for Morris. Lions had so many players forward, they have to really regroup defensively now. Good dribbling there from Morris.
Yeah, a bit of disorganization here from the Lions.
This one will be hit long. Just killing a bit of time here. The third goal for Seattle U was scored by the third substitute, Harrison Kurtz, officially in the 79th minute.
Interesting note, 2 of those goals were scored by substitutes, Harrison Kurtz and Connor Noblat, the goal in the 41st minute.
Caliscan, a bit too much on the tackle there against Noe Meza.
Reacted as if he knew right when Meza fell down that was a foul.
And now we see Ritchie taking a bit of time here on the free kick, right on his side of midfield. The Lions dropping plenty of players back. Meza now cuts back inside. Bit of space here, fires a shot, nice block there from Caliscan. That'll allow the Lions to play along the other way. Now chasing this one in behind are the 2 strikers for LMU. Great clearance there from Seattle U, as the Lions had a couple players charging in behind that one. Now they'll play it down the line to Morris. He'll let that one go out of bounds, or rather it looks like it went out of bounds well before it got to him. That'll allow the Lions to move things up the field. Quick throw in from Shockey towards Sanchez in the middle. Sanchez, plenty of space to work here. The Lions very much working against the clock, however, under 8 minutes now. As Oberle plays it back into Sanchez. Ritchie right there with him. Nice takeaway there by Seattle, but good hustle from Avoce, gets it back for LMU.
Lions looking at what might be the last 7.5 minutes of the season if they can't do anything right now.
This one is hit into a dangerous area for the Lions. Flicked on, still there for LMU, but ultimately picked up by the goalkeeper, Kasim.
Taking his time now as one would, with a 3-1 lead in the 84th minute.
This one is skied forward. Lions come away with it, but now having to work through the back, which is exactly the opposite of where they want to be going now. Under 7 minutes, down 2 goals in the first round of the tournament. This one bounces back to Caliscan. Now moving it down the left-hand side, the Lions go. Looking inside, Saul's unable to get there. Lion player goes down. Now Morris charging into space here against Lopez. Going forward, still on his feet in the box. Good chance here. Still for Seattle U, right on the edge of the box. Here they go, moving it around. No hurry though, however. Hanging on to a 2-goal lead. Nice bit of skill. Shot fired just wide of the post. That one actually really skied on the Red Hawk player there. And it looked like Morris had a great chance at a goal. Good hustle by the Lions tracking back to get rid of that opportunity. But Seattle ultimately ends up hitting it over the bar. Now it'll be a goal kick for LMU, but the clock continues to tick as CJ Neville comes into the game for Francis Avoce.
Yeah, it looks like a great opportunity there that was created by the slippery field conditions, and at the same time was, defeated by those field conditions as Morris ended up falling before he can get a shot off.
This one is hit towards the head of Saul as he tacks it on for Williams. Williams knocks it forward, looking for Oberle, but unable to get there before the goalkeeper, Kasim, are the Lions. Seattle now just having to survive these last couple of minutes of this one. The Lions are all hands on deck with 5 minutes left in regulation. First postseason appearance for this LMU team since 2013. We talked about Seattle, a team that's been here before 4 times. They've reached the NCAA tournament in that period where the Lions were unable to get there. The experience really proving valuable here, as well as some strong freshman contributions from the likes of Ortiz. Charging forward now is Ritchie. No need to really get forward for Seattle, but just continue to play their strengths, move the ball around the midfield. Lions, on the other hand, have to do whatever it takes to get the ball forward. Just 3 defenders for LMU now, plenty of players forward. This one falls in the area of Cervantes. He slides for it. That'll be a foul called against him. I believe it was actually Sanchez there for the Lions who was the culprit of that foul.
Although things are relatively quiet now, you know, you have to acknowledge this was an amazingly action-packed second half with 3 goals scored in a very short period of time.
Yeah, it was a great second half, a great atmosphere. Both teams having plenty of support, plenty of representation here at Sullivan Field. Long ball played by Kasim. Once again, Seattle U is really only playing against the clock here. This one comes in long, trying to chase it down to Cervantes once again, easily taken by the goalkeeper.
Just over 3 minutes now till that buzzer sounds.
And Kasim will continue to just send it right back deep. So there's no need for Seattle to create any more chances. The Lions are just pushing the ball forward anytime they get a chance, just firing balls towards the head of Jack Sauls. And Seattle very contently playing it right back to Lopez. Lopez will hit it long, once again looking for Sauls. Sauls deflects it, but it falls for Ritchie. And Ritchie will send that one very long. This one will require Jacob Jackson to come in for LMU. Jackson looking for options. He'll just send it long down the left-hand side. Both teams just basically clearing it to each other here. As now this gives Morris a chance to run in behind. Good chance here for Seattle U. He flicks it over to the goalkeeper and on to the crossbar. Almost the 4th goal there for Seattle U, as James Morris was one-on-one with Jacob Jackson. And a good idea to try and chip it over him, but the crossbar was there for LMU. Now Dehaney Williams almost gets a chance, but he is offsides.
Yeah, great little, fun little chip opportunity there for Morris. Just barely off the mark.
Yeah, we've seen Morris coming in for who we really talked about being the best player, Declan McGlynn. And ever since he's come in, a couple nice runs from Morris. He's been able to catch the Lions overcommitting forward.
Which, of course, something you should do if you are down 2 goals with this much time left.
Dehaney Williams looks like he was offsides there. Line judge sees it the same way. Just a minute and some change left in regulation here. Lions down 3-1. Seattle U up ahead here. 3 goals scored by them by Connor Noblat, Jesse Ortiz, and Harrison Kurtz.
Looks like Lion player there got poked in the eye. I believe that's number 29, Noel Caliscan. Just over a minute remaining now.
Player goes down there for LMU. Shockey appears to be hurt, but knowing that time is of the essence, he gets up and continues to limp forward.
1 minute remaining in the match.
Minute left in the game here. Player goes down for Seattle. Field conditions getting really slippery now late in this one.
Players should be careful now not to put themselves in harm's way. Lions would need nothing short of a miracle now.
Lions just fighting to keep the ball in bounds along the left-hand side. Unable to do so. It'll go out of bounds. The clock will continue to tick.
Seattle U, burning clock.
At killing time. Another sliding tackle. We have just about 10 seconds left in this one. So the Lions continue to try and push
10,
forward and get a second
9,
goal before it's
8,
all said and done.
7, 6, 5,
That clearance
4,
from Seattle
3,
U will do it.
2, 1.
So your final
0.
score here in the first round of the NCAA men's soccer tournament from Sullivan Field in Los Angeles, California is Seattle U 3, LMU 1.